Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Baby Boy from Versatile Kings and Queens. We're back with episode 10, the final finale. We are with the OG, the great Mr. Keith. Thank you for continuing to be on the show. And we have our special guest, Mr. Trey G, Miss Kayla,
Yo.
of course,
Hey.
Mrs. L, and this season's finale. Mr. Keith, would you like to give a little bit more background about your life?
Okay. My name's Keith Campbell. I come from Dallas, Texas. Grew up in Oak Cliff. Went to Carter High School. Graduated in 1989.
Yes, sir.
Cowboys. The year that CC
Mm-hmm.
that we won state, and also within the next few months were charged and convicted with a string of armed robberies
Okay.
that became nationwide news,
Yes, sir.
big disappointment to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm living and I'm loving life.
Do you? I believe I'm old school. Forgive my mind. I believe you had a movie out once at a time.
Right.
What's the name of the movie?
The Carter High dropped in, I believe, 2016, and then it was followed up by ESPN 30 for 30 with Carter Lost.
Yes, sir. Was that on like YouTube or
Netflix.
Netflix?
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Check it out. What's the name of it again?
Carter High is the movie, and the name of the ESPN documentary is What Carter Lost.
Who came to you guys about the idea of just coming to the big screen?
A neighbor who was also a player on the team named Arthur Muhammad.
Okay.
He grew up about 6 houses down from me and studied film.
Yes, sir.
He was a junior the year that I was a senior,
Okay.
and he wrote a script,
Oh,
and it
okay.
was actually picked up. I know the help in production was Greg Ellis, former Dallas Cowboy.
Oh. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So, I know y'all was young and trying to get it. What made you change your lifestyle from then versus now?
Well, in hindsight, I realized that I was born into an environment of entitlement.
Okay.
A lot of things were given to me that I had not earned.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my father buying, I think I was the first kid in the neighborhood with a computer. I would have friends come over and we play games like Olympic style, just all day. I had a go-kart, things that other kids didn't have yet. Right. And moped, motorcycles.
That's right.
And it was those things I received were not for good behavior, but just because either I wanted it or my parents decided to buy it for me. And over time, and I believe a lot of children have this mindset that we don't care what other people think growing up. And once I was arrested for the robberies, there was a time when I was released on bail, and I remember going places with my mom, shopping center, church, just different locations, different areas around the city. And I would hear people talk about the hurt and disappointment regarding the incident, the robberies, and how a community has supported us, an all-black school, and now we had broken their hearts. And it was just, again, at a level where I was like, the person don't even know me. And so during the moment of sentencing, I remember as we were being given time that you could hear screams throughout the entire courtroom. Not courtroom, but outside in the hallway, because most of the kids that went to Carter skipped school that day for sentencing to be down there. And I would just remember having the thought of, wow, that many people care.
Yeah.
And at that, but I also, from being a realist, I understood there's a price that you got to pay now, though. And so at that moment was the initial, that was the seed being planted on my wanting to not break hearts at that level, especially intentionally again.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this: being from the older school, I'm old too, but you a little bit older than me. But it's okay. So this generation versus our generation, like it's like when we was growing up, people looked out for other people, and nowadays it's like it's a dog eat dog world. So like I give you an example. I believe a certain guy, like I say, I'm from Louisiana, and Monroe, Front Row, whatever it is, and it was the guys coming up that being successful, and I'm not saying about everybody from Monroe, but certain guys are seeing that this guy's living a certain lifestyle. He's young, and they was hanging around the club. If I believe the story's right, hanging around the club, and they like, let me get a ride. And when they got a ride, one guy was sitting in the back seat, and he popped in the back of his head because they thought he had money. Pretty much, I'm saying a dog-eat-dog world. They older school, and you got some shady cats and old school like that, but it's like I'm seeing a lot of days. It's like younger people don't really give a damn.
Well, I had that mindset. I was a robber. I share me.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my God.
It's funny. You sound like the people in the courtroom.
I know.
You know?
I know. This guy.
Yeah. But I knew what drove me was money. Uh-huh. But I understand now that I wasn't willing to work for it, even from a hustle standpoint, because robbery is not hustling. I'm talking about a guy selling dope. He out there working.
Yeah,
he doing something illegal, but he working for it. Yep. I wasn't willing to put in that kind of time, and possibly lose my life. The odds of being killed in a trap.
Yep.
But I also was locked up during the era of crack.
Yeah.
So I realized prison saved my life because I was making decisions based upon being driven by money. Mm-hmm. And I the only thing I attribute that to is, again, you talk about being detached from your from your native country. Growing up I think when I was born, I was third generation out of slavery. So okay. You're talking about society. There are people that are 400 or 500 years ahead, billions of dollars ahead. So they had the ability to fall off, catch back up, and we can't catch in. Yeah. So money becomes what drives us. You watch videos. You don't see country, rock and roll. You don't see any other videos where people waving money around. It's just hip hop. Yeah. So we've been taught to chase money. What I realize is, if I replace chasing purpose, working on character traits, and being consistent in doing what is expected of me in terms of being a law-abiding citizen, then money will fall into place.
Okay. When you saying making money and is driving us today, like a lot of people are, how should I put it? They're kind of taking the easy route away from making money. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. Artificial intelligence, AI. They have apps where you can talk to the app and it'll give you a blueprint. I got it on my phone. And it's kind of it's like a cheat way of making money. And you can ask the app, hey, how do I pass this test? And that app will give you a breakdown. Do this, do this, do this. How do you guys feel, the whole panel, about AI and how it's affecting us? And do you think, some people say you smart as the machine, but after a while, my mind, because I'm in IT, that technology is gonna outthink you, and it's gonna eventually. Everybody got their own opinion. This is just my opinion. Everybody got their own opinion. This is just my opinion. That AI is gonna overthink us, and it's gonna go past us. What do you think about that, Ms. Kayla?
Okay, AI is scary. It's
is
very scary. I'm a teacher, and I'm an English teacher, and I know Chat GPT. My students can just type their whole paper. They can just put in the prompt in the Chat GT. What is it?
GPT.
Lord, that
Yeah.
it's going to it'll type the whole paper for them. Luckily, I know my students' voice through their writing. I've worked with them enough, like with where they have to write it in class, where I know, okay, you ain't write that. You don't even know what that word mean.
Let me Google this.
Yeah, I'm like, baby, okay. I'm like, you sure right. I'm giving you a 0. But I was actually listening to a podcast before I came in here, and basically they were talking about how with the whole strike, the SAG-AFTRA and the like the writer's strike and the actor's strike, how they can just use AI to write.
Yeah.
But there's no soul behind AI.
That's true.
But it's the fact that these businesses are like, so it's cheaper.
True.
And that's what scares me.
And we adapt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Trey G, what you think about that?
My thoughts on AI is I felt kind of similar to everybody at this table when I first kind of heard about it. It's going to outthink us. It's going to overtake us. It's scary. It can be used as a tool to cheat, this, that, and the third. Even though I still feel that way, I feel like you can't be so scared of AI that you don't tap into it.
You got to adapt to it.
You have to. That's where we at. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't tap into it, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
You know? And then once it do take you over, then you're going to be sitting there like, damn, I don't know nothing about this thing.
Yeah. Miss L, what you think about that?
For me, I don't know. I always put God first, and I always say He's in control. God is always in control. So no matter what it looks like, He'll work things out for the good for people that love Him. So whatever is coming up, I know that He'll prepare His people for it.
Okay, good thing. Mr. Keith, what you think about the AI?
With Trey and with Miss L, they align with one another. In your bringing this topic up, you asked the question, what's the difference between our generation and now? Well, we depended on those before us to show us. This generation don't have to depend on those before us to show us. You just type it in. And this is how powerful that is. I never forget what drove me to change my way of living, my lifestyle. Not wrong to right, but from what I was doing, my career, was the terrorist attack. And I remember that they learned how to fly planes by playing a video game. Not land, just fly.
Because they wasn't trying to land.
That's it. But what they needed, they got from simply sitting down and turning on the television and a game.
Yeah.
What I ended up doing was I tried to get in truck driving school. But because of my background, all schools had certain stipulations I either want to adhere to or they said no. I paid a guy to learn how to drive, $500. Well, I got my Class A, but CDL, but I didn't have experience. I learned in a truck that didn't have automatic, it was just standard. When I got a job, when I went for a job, I had to learn how to drive a stick. I sat in that parking lot for 2 hours and just watched YouTube videos. And when I got in there, I told the man before I got in the truck, I never have done it. When I finished the test, he told me I was lying. But it was right here in front of me. Right. So going back to what you said, you have to catch up and catch in. And God gonna do his part too. You just have to be doing your part because opportunities come, man. Life is about seasons, advancing. We all talk about what we want better. We want better. Well, part of that is advancement, change, things that we aren't accustomed to. We want things again to be how we want it to be.
Right. And I'm going to jump in on Keith real quick, just real fast. People that look like us, everybody sitting around at this table, we all African American. People who look like us don't adapt to change well. We like to stay in the same old, and then when something new come along, I ain't finna touch that. Yeah, I ain't finna deal with that. I like the way it's going now, but we don't see that the world passing us up. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be fearful because it's gonna leave us in a state of where we left behind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to like jump into these things and get a hands-on feel for it. Else we gonna be left behind forever. Because we are the ones who be like, oh, no, that ain't how my mama did it, just like he said. And ain't how my granny did it. My papa ain't do it like that. Well, it's a different day and age now. You know?
Right.
You got to do something different. You got to catch up with the times.
I agree.
I agree. I know that you have sponsorship for like younger kids. Am I correct? Like like a mentorship? Is that correct?
Well, no, I'm part of a program that works with first-time nonviolent offenders.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's called Pathways to Progress, run by Judge Amber Givens, and we host. We do a number of events. We do a back-to-school rally where we call all the ISD schools in.
Okay.
They come together, and we have a number of people that speak that have come from different backgrounds, and then through the course of the year, we I'm involved with her she's oversees nonviolent offenders.
Okay.
So I come through and I interact, work with them, and they also have a big brother, big sister type program.
Okay.
Where they get them acquainted with getting back into employment or whatever direction that they need to be pointed in.
Okay. I know, Ms. Kayla, I know that you're a teacher. Do you have like a back to school thing that you got going on, or?
I can't tell y'all what district I work for.
I didn't say that.
But I'm gonna say this. It's there are multiple back to school events for each feeder pattern. So I am a high school English teacher, so the specific high school I work for, they have their own specific back to school rally for all the students that would go through that feeder pattern. Okay. I really do wish that I don't know. I love DISD. My sister is she's a very important person. I can't tell her. I can't say what she does, but she's up there. Okay. And one of my cousins, he passed away not too long ago. He was a very important person in DISD. Part of me is like, I just wish that we could do more things like DISD
right.
for the district I work for. Just hearing all the things that you're a part of, because I have students that need that.
Yes. Right.
It's about networking thing. Versatile Kings and Queens podcast.
Absolutely.
Network, I got a plan.
I have. It's just so much that my students come to me and talk to me about, with like the whole thing with like, just the direction. I had a student that had a fentanyl overdose and he passed away. Damn. And I think it was his first time using it.
Ooh.
And it broke my heart because it hit me out of nowhere. I knew a student had passed away, but I didn't know which student it was. And then another student or a student I tutored, she came to me crying. I was like, "What's wrong?" And she told me, and I just, you try to be an adult in those situations, but I just broke down.
Wow.
So I just wish, and I think that is so amazing that there are opportunities like that.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Trey G, do you have anything going on, sir, that you?
So there's a bunch of like back to school giveaways going on all around the city. I know in Sigerville. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Off Jim Miller today in the Grove. There's a back to school. Well, I don't know when this is actually gonna play, but
it's gonna be.
For sure. Well, so there are back to school giveaways going on all around the city. So just tap in with my Instagram page. Anybody who has a back to school drive that's going on, please send me flyers, send me information. I love to get the word out there because my mama was one of them people that relied on back to school drive from the churches, from the community organizers and stuff like that. So anybody who has a back to school drive, please tap in with me, AYE_Trey G. On IG, just so I can post it and get it get it some light.
He famous, y'all.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
he kind of famous. He be messed up on traffic in the morning. I don't be listening to that dude. I don't be really listening to that. I go the other way. I go the other way.
I be trying to show love. I be trying to let you make it. I ain't did traffic in about 4,000 weeks. You see
Ooh.
what I'm saying?
Ooh.
That's how I know you ain't tapped in.
Hey, I listen. I told her I put on for 10 minutes and then
You got to wake up early in the morning.
You
For
see what I'm
that.
saying? I ain't did traffic in 3-4 weeks.
It's all right.
You see that?
My bad. I don't like you anyway. So, Miss Kayla, would you like to tell more about your podcast that's coming out, or the second episode, or how to?
Sure. The second episode, basically, it's called "Fling or Get Flung." Basically, we have 3 segments, but one of the segments was about what people consider a fling, and that episode is on YouTube. If you go to Kayla Baela, Kaela Baela on YouTube, you'll see it. It just says episode 2, fling or get flung. By the way, Trey likes to pick at me, y'all. I'm so sweet on this podcast.
Get on his
I'm
ass.
so
God
sweet.
damn it.
I'm your internet bestie, and he be picking on y'all's internet bestie, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
he be making me just,
Mean fucker.
just,
Sorry, my bad.
just picking at me. So if you ever see me get a little buck with him on the podcast, just know it was warranted. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're wrapping up episode 10. I know one thing. I am hungry. So
You always hungry.
I'm hungry. Hey, but check it out. Y'all should check out the Coach's Box in Duncanville, Texas. The address is 705 Oriole Boulevard, Duncanville, Texas, 75116. X for Coach. Coach know me. I am Baby Boy. Just say Baby Boy sent you. They got some great food. A little attention. The spot is real nice. It's real cool, laid back.
I've been seeing you post some of them plates too, boy. They be looking
Yeah,
good.
yeah, man. I try, man. You make me hungry. Starve by the mouth. But we are looking out for sponsors for the show. Any up and coming events that you guys want to announce about, Mr. Keith, Miss L? No.
Nah.
All right, we're about to be out. We're about to get the hell up out of here. Tune in, man. This is the wrap up of season 1. Season 2, a lot of people say we want to see you on camera. Season 2, we get on camera.
There you go.
We want to thank y'all, our friends, Kayla, Miss Trey G, of course, Mr. Keith, Miss L. Thank you for being a part of my. You know how my mind works. I should be going off. So thank y'all.
Pray for me.
Yeah, pray for her. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. We're on Pandora, iHeartRadio. You can't miss us. Cyrus Radio, everywhere. So you're gonna see me with the t-shirts on. We got the keychains out, and we're out of this episode. And we'll see. Holla at you. Peace.
Peace.